Okay, now for the fun part. You get the bottom off it. And I've done this before, for those who are wondering. That's how I ended up with this stub of a crankshaft. The original idea for this compressor was to make a key-slotted adapter bushing and basically just extend the shaft out here with a laser cut end plate with a big seal and a bearing mounted on it to take any axial load. I was going to belt drive this off a big diesel engine. None of that ever happened, so I'm going to strip it down and throw the rest of this in the bin. All that can go to no real use. Okay, whole bunch of rattle gunning later. Let's try and remove the bottom plate. There we go. Bit of metallic debris and other wear and tear crap. Okay, that is a strainer for the oil pump. Yeah, that's oil pump inlet. Oil pump outlet goes through the crankshaft. That's crankcase heater tube. You stick a long crankcase heater element inside that. That there is oil return from the motor. That's a little check valve, and I believe suction pressure or pressure on the return gas helps siphon oil back through there. So the only thing that's connected to it, because it dumps out through this hole in there, it's only connected into the block here, so that's oil return either via return through the crankshaft. Any oil that goes through the crankshaft ends up oil cooling the motor as well as coming back through here at a certain rate, so much volume, and that's returned from the bottom of the sump inside here. There's a little check valve thing in there. So pressure differential between this side and that side will allow oil to come back through here at a steady, slow rate, but it does. So we'll unscrew all that, take this little spring-loaded filter out, and start undoing the big ends. Just like a car engine, it's got cast crankshaft. This one's a little more serious than the last one I stripped down. I think this compressor's a higher capacity, but yeah. In the last one I stripped down, you couldn't pull the pistons out through the top of the deck like you would on a car engine. The big ends were so big, you actually had to push them down to the top of their stroke and leave them, wiggle the crankshaft all the way out, and then pull the pistons out through the crankcase. It was rather awkward, especially if you pushed them too far and the rings expanded on this side, because you had to recompress the rings and push them back in again. These ones look... don't know, I might be able to pull these out through the top. I hope I can. But yeah, it's a seriously heavy duty crankshaft. It's a bit heavier than the one that end came off. This is probably a larger capacity model. Yeah, it's just debris and crap from running. Coppery crap, stuff from the suction line, stuff from the rest of the system. It's come out of the coils and pipes and things. Yeah. Just metallic sludge. Okay, well, I've seen lighter crankshafts on car engines. This is one serious compressor crank. Mind you, they get a lot bigger and heavier than this. And I did have to drop the pistons all the way out to get the crank to clear them. So I've got to remove these rings before I can put the pistons back up through the bores. The big ends are bigger than the bores themselves, unlike a lot of car engines and things where you can just pull the piston out through the top. Doesn't work on these compressors, but it's going to make this thing a lot lighter and a lot easier to move around. It's going to dump the crankcase outside and try and soak up the remainder of the oil, and I'll stick it outside somewhere out of the way and and dump it on the trailer when I get the time. But yeah, it's one serious crankshaft. Very strong. You can beat someone up with that. Jesus. A little bit too heavy. Maybe a two-handed mace. Definitely not a one-handed weapon. But that's a nice old compressor crank. Forged iron by the looks of it. Oh, yeah, I'll get the pistons out and that's the end of it. Well, that's that one done. Everything's in pretty good condition. I mean, I only suffered a motor burnout, but you can smell it on the oil and everything. It smells like burnt motor. It's kind of nasty, but I don't know. Good piston assemblies for something. I'll keep them for the hell of it, but probably not for long. The rest of that crap can go in the bin. Same with the block. That's definitely got to go. Too much crap lying around. I'll just strip whatever bits I can off them, bolts, electrical terminals off the terminal block, and that's about it. Main bearings and things. Very heavily engineered, but nothing really that useful to me, unfortunately. A lot of big end bolts and things. They're always good. Oh, that's the end of that one. Thanks for watching.